Hello, Scott Hilton, Scott Talks. Today we're going to talk about, it's the end of May 2025, and we're going to talk about some of the shows we're watching right now. Just a little recap, trying to catch up on all those network shows. We have Hulu for ABC, Paramount Plus for CBS, the #1 network in the United States, and Peacock. We got a Black Friday deal, so we actually got Peacock, about $20 for Peacock. I think they just had a deal. It's 27th through the 30th or the 31st, $25 for a year of Peacock. So we got it for $20 on Black Friday. So always keep Black Friday in mind. Now, I've got a crazy list of the way I keep track of shows. Just little list and stars and kind of an interesting little jargon. So you can probably make it out. The red star means it's ad-free. So it's on, we have Apple Plus, is always ad-free still. We have Paramount Plus with Showtime. With Showtime, the CBS stuff, Paramount stuff, all that Taylor Sheridan great shows, except for Yellowstone. Yellowstone's on Peacock because they bought the rights to have it on Peacock. We just wrapped up Saturday Night Live, has ended its run till the fall, and we would catch that on YouTube. It would come out Saturday, so Sunday morning we'd watch a couple weekend updates, maybe a skit or a monologue. That was fun to watch. We're looking at Shrinking now on Apple TV Plus. Excellent show. Ted Lasso was the golden child of Apple TV Plus, and the same producers got Harrison Ford on board for their 30-minute Shrinking show. It's great show. We've been watching that, and I keep track of it. I put episode 208, that means season 2, episode 8, and there are 12 episodes. I make a note of that, so I keep track. And we just watched one on the 25/29. I put the little date there. We haven't started the studio, but I've got it listed here. And Ted Lasso, we've seen all 3 seasons, and there's talk of a 4th season. Haven't seen Trying yet. Wondla, an animated show. We were in the 2nd season of that. Love at Wondla. It's on Apple TV Plus. One thing we were doing, I've got a Apple TV device, and my wife has a Roku device, and she loves her Roku Ultra. And one of the big things they do on the Apple device is put the show you're watching up at the top. And CNN on Max was at the top. And then they changed, they were talking about getting rid of sports on Max and a lot of the news stuff, downing that off on the ad version. But if you had the ad-free version, you got to see all the sports and all the news stuff. And a new show, 5 Things, was very popular. I liked it. About 5 minutes, 5 stories. I like that concept. It ran over sometimes, but it's okay. We would watch that, and then it disappeared. But there was Apple with its little thing. You were watching 5 Things earlier. Would you like to watch again? And you click. More 5 Things. You just had to make sure you're on the last day. You weren't 3 days back. Okay, and Tuesday's story, and you're like, oh, no, down, change the episode. Get today. And you would do that, and you'd watch it. It was cool. But now we're out of Max. We had a great deal Black Friday again, $2.99 a month for 6 months. Just wrapped that up. They sent me you can get $18 or $19 off for a year, and I was like, $18, $19. That's like, I think it's $99 for a year, so it'd be with ads. 88, 90. I was like, nah, we'll wait for throw another bone out at us if we ever get it again. For a while, it might be a while. House of the Dragon comes out. But we did get to see The Last of Us and The Pit on Max. They're both great shows you got to see. Abbott Elementary, excellent show. It's on Hulu, on Disney Plus. You might check your Disney Plus. A lot of the Hulu content's already there, and some of it's you have to pay extra for Hulu. to see some of that Hulu content. Or some of you might have Hulu by itself still. That's great. I recommend the Disney Hulu bundle for $10.99, and instead of getting Hulu for $9.99, right? Something like that with ads. Watch the ads. You get over that. But Abbott Elementary, we love watching the occasional Abbott Elementary 30-minute shows. We kind of watch like that. If you're eating lunch or dinner, if you want to see, sometimes dinner, we'll watch. We can see the TV, and we watch a 30-minute show. Sometimes we watch the hour-long shows, but usually a 30-minute show. My wife always wants to catch up on Abbott Elementary. That's the plan. And then if you're getting later in the night, you've watched a 1 hour show, you're like, NCIS, yeah, that was good. Let's watch one more thing, and you pick a 30-minute show. And if you're really tired, you go, we'll watch because even if they filmed it, a lot of shows are filmed with the idea that there might be ads that would spread it out and make it 30 minutes or so. And now streaming, they vary in length anyway. But you would watch it before going to bed because it's only 30 minutes. And then if it's an ad-free thing like on CBS or on Paramount Plus, or for us, Apple TV Plus, it's probably going to be a little shorter without the ads, unless they already pulled it out, it made it a longer show, but at least you can get through it. And then wrap up with a little kiss of YouTube, to see what's going on in the world. Because then you can pace yourself. You see a story that's interesting, but it's 10 minutes long, but it's 5 minutes long. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and for short stories, we tried Mid-Century Modern on Hulu. It's a funny show. Had a great episode where the guy that's the flight attendant was recommending his friend, don't ask get the warm cookie on the airplane, because these flight attendants, it's a trick. They take the stale cookies and warm them up so they taste good. And we finished Shifting Gears with Tim Allen on Hulu. We've got, let's see, if we don't have Netflix right now, but we're going to watch the next season of Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous, and next season of that, we're behind on that. That 90s show is great follow-up to that 70s show. They did a great job. On Paramount Plus, we're enjoying the first season of Calling from Accounts. You might find it's an Australian show, but it's quirky and it's odd, and you're just like, we got hooked on it. It was our guilty pleasure, I'm sure you. And we wrapped up Frasier, the new Frasier from, they did 2 seasons, a new version of Frasier, where he goes back to teaching at Harvard. It's a great show. If you want to catch it. Ghost is a brilliant show. We wrapped up the season, 22 episodes. That's the thing, 22 episodes. When you get the stuff like Hulu's and Paramount Plus and Peacock, you're getting network shows, so you're getting 20-some episodes usually, unless it's the first season of something they're trying out, and they're not going to do as many shows for some reason. But usually these NCISs and Grey's Anatomies, you're getting 20-some shows. You're on Netflix. New episodes of Wednesday will be out soon. What do you get? 8 episodes? 6, 10, something like that? And that's it. And then you're done. So it's great. And on Paramount, they have the UK version, the United Kingdom version of Ghost, the original version. So you get like 3 or 4 episodes, 5 episodes, 6. You don't get a ton because it's British, because they were doing that before streaming. You'd get Doctor Who, and you'd get it so many episodes, and that was it. That was the season for the Doctor Who. And British shows never did have a lot of episodes. So it was our first taste of cord cutting before we even knew it. And but the original Ghost is great. A lot of parallels to the American version of Ghost, which is also great. So they're both on Paramount Plus. Catch both of those. 5 seasons of the UK. Night Court wrapped up. They got canceled on Peacock, but we got to see the last episode of that. Wrap that up. So that's our 30-minute shows. Now, on Sunday nights, what I do, I'll put down a show for, if it comes out during the day, I'll put it on there for streaming. But if it's a network show, it usually comes out the next day. So like if something comes out on Sunday night, I'll put it in my Monday list of shows, and I'll put stars by it to see what I really want to see and what I don't want to see. And the most, if you only got time to watch one or two shows because stuff happens, I'll have the stars, and I'll try to hit that must-watch Monday night show and Tuesday night. And I'll do catch-ups, I'll cheat a little bit. But like House of the Dragon, all those big HBO shows always came out at 9 o'clock. And if it's late and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to bed, fine, I'll put it down for the next day. And if we're up, like Disney's been doing it for some of their Wednesday night shows, new shows would come out, but really you can see it at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. So I would still put Wednesday, because if I miss it or we're watching something else and it gets late and you realize, oh yeah, the new Wednesday thing, Tuesday, it comes out Tuesday and you miss it. So if you're used to staying up, you don't have these white hair. I mean, my wife loves to stay up late. She'll stay up and watch stuff, but I'll crash. So staying up late like that's not a big thing for me. But Sunday, my big watch was, where is it? Mobland right now. Paramount Plus. Yellowstone's over, you got to find another big action adventure show. And it's not by Taylor Sheridan, it's on Paramount, but it's still on Paramount. Mobland is a great show. We're enjoying it with Pierce Brosnan, Tom Hardy, Helen Mirren. Yeah, Helen Mirren was 1923, the big Taylor Sheridan show. So, and that's wrapped up. We watched that and wrapped it up. Day of the Jackal on Peacock. Wrapped that up. That was great. Absolutely great. Like, there's something on Peacock, and it's not, does it have the word Chicago in front of it? Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD? That's their hot shows. All right, Monday night. And occasionally I'll put a show to fill it in. Like there's nothing on Paramount tonight. Well, I'll fill it, I'll move this over because there's too many shows on Wednesday or something like that. But I had The Last of Us on Monday since it came on at 9 o'clock Sunday on Max. And we wrapped that up. That was really good. I liked it. I mean, some people will be like, well, what happens next? It was one of those endings. Tracker's the biggest show CBS has. And I put it down. It comes on Sunday. So that means next day on streaming, because it's a CBS show. And Tracker's our big must-watch. We always watch Tracker. And they had 20 episodes this season. Great, 20. We caught a little Equalizer occasionally, caught a little bit of Watson occasionally, not much, We're still way behind on those. Well, my wife will watch the Equalizer. She loves the Equalizer. So when she's staying up late, and she tried to catch some White Lotus before Max disappeared. Tuesday night was NCIS Origins. We tried to catch those. We're on we finished it. Actually, we finished episode 18. And according to the timeline, because it takes place in the past, it's the main character Gibbs' kind of origin story. It's called, it shows NCIS, but back then it was NIS. They were NIS agents, and I checked the dates. And when this takes place, and when NIS, the name change happens like that next year. They didn't happen at the end of this season, so I figure the next season they're going to get the official NCIS officially. Probably sometime during this season they'll have the name change. But it's a great show. It deals more, it has the side characters are really interesting, get a lot of time on the show. Okay, for Wednesdays, Daredevil Born Again, we would catch that as much as possible on Disney Plus. Excellent. Caught a couple episodes of Doc. We're behind on that, but that's the advantage. May ends the network shows. And then you go into summer when everyone's on vacation, and they occasionally spot a couple of shows they'll throw out at you, maybe to see if you get interested to make it a big show later. And you can catch up. You still got your network shows. Catch up. Just hang in there, or wait till later and catch up. But if you still got that network thing, or you pay a year for Paramount Plus like we do, we've got, it's the #1 network. So it's all those big shows are there for us all year long. The Rookie and Will Trent on Hulu, both of them, great shows. We always try to catch those. NCIS, the original, is the original. It's the big hit. And we catch it when we can. We like the show, but we catch it when we can. And we catch occasionally The Irrational on Peacock. Thursday, caught a couple more Bosch Legacies, trying to catch that show up as it's getting ready to wrap up. Well, it has wrapped up, technically, I think. It's we're in season 2 with 10 episodes. We're on episode 5. Reacher, we wrapped up, of course, because it's Reacher. Amazon Video. Excellent. Reacher's excellent guy. It's a good show. Occasionally my wife will have to look at that for the violence, but she's just good. Okay, Guilty Pleasure. Guilty Pleasure show on the CW. We watch Wild Cards and Sherlock and Daughter. We'll catch those occasionally. We keep it up with Sherlock and Daughter. So those are 2 CW shows you can watch. And the CW app is free. You just watch the commercials. Simple. The Pit was excellent, excellent, excellent. Had to see The Pit on Max. It was so good, and it got better Internet Movie Database reviews and ratings than The Last of Us, which is almost impossible. Yeah, The Last of Us is amazing. So see The Pit. The new show Duster on HBO Max. They're going to change it to HBO Max. A lot of you are saying, "Hey, Max, it's going to be HBO Max this summer." They're going back to that name. Haven't tried Duster yet. Outer Banks on Netflix. My wife always keeps up with that show, but that's not new right now. I just saw it on the list. Poker Face is the show to watch on Peacock, right? Just absolutely brilliant show. And I think her name is Natasha Leone or something like that. She's brilliant. She's great. And Ryan Johnson, the guy that did he did that controversial Star Wars movie, but he's also the brilliant guy with the Glass Onion movie, if you like that. Knives Out, he did that. And there's a great scene. He's in the scene where Natasha Lyonne is getting shot, and there's a guy guarding something, and he's the guy. And I was like, "Hey, isn't that Ryan Johnson?" Ryan, I think his name's Johnson. Friday. Let's see. And I've got on my list to watch the next season of Silo on Apple, but we haven't started it, season 2 yet. And Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple, but we haven't started that yet. 911, my wife loves 911. We're still behind, but we're catching up. Dr. Odyssey, we've got to catch up with a few more of those, but let's see. Dexter Original Sin on Paramount Showtime. You have to have Showtime to get it. We called several of those. Seeing that with my wife, she hated the original Dexter. It was just too violent. And now she's watching it because the girl from Buffy is in it, the Vampire Slayer, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Matlock on Paramount Plus, CBS show. Watch. We have it. I've got it listed down here for. Got it on Friday, but I think it technically would have aired on Thursdays. Anyway, that 19 episodes, and we're wrapping up those episodes. And still, this is the very end of May. We're reporting this May 31st, 2025. So the shows are over pretty much. Everything's over in May. It's very rare anything would run into June on networks. Saturdays. We would catch occasional episodes of Almost Paradise occasionally. great show on Amazon Prime Video, just as a guilty pleasure. And Doctor Who, we're going to wrap that up. The new Doctor Who, season 2 was much better than season 1 of the Disney version. Fire Country, my wife loves Fire Country. 20 episodes. We're on 17. We're going to catch up with that real quick. Elsbeth is a great show. And NCIS Sydney, we're pretty caught up. We finished that. We did finish it. 20, yeah. I listed it here. Oh, well. Yep, we finished it for the season. So that's good. No big giant cliffhangers. Just, I don't think. Whatever. NCIS, we did keep up with NCIS Sydney. Fun show. You know, critics will say it's not as good as the originals and the other NCISs, and everyone wanted to keep NCIS Hawaii. I did too. Or they could always, you know, if Paramount's looking for a show, you want to do streaming, do 8 episodes a year of NCIS Hawaii. Throw that out there. So that's it. Week by week, we've got our little list. And I've got these, here's some Saturday stuff. I've got all sorts of wild stuff that we'll probably never, ever see. But this is some Saturday. Some of you can read it, freeze frame, and read it, and check it out, what I've got, the way I did the stars. Yeah, the little red star just kind of reminds me, it's commercial free. I can bang it out, and that'll be it. Oh, and I've brought a glass of water. So if you learned anything, or this gives you some motivation to get certain streaming services over other streaming services, or try it and rotate. It's called churn, when you cancel or pause a service and go ahead and get a different service. Then that's the way you do it. During the network times, it's good to have Hulu and Peacock and Paramount Plus. Maybe not Peacock, but Chicago Fire people are like, what? Oh, Resident Alien's fun to watch on Peacock. We like that. But if you know you're watching the big services, they are Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV Plus, CW free, Disney. I like the Disney Hulu combo, Max, which will be HBO Max, Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Peacock. Those are the biggest services. You know, there are all sorts of services. There's too many services to exist in the world of streaming. There are just so many. There are too many shows to watch, all these shows. That's why you don't need to subscribe to everything. Like I will say, Peacock, if you missed it during the network times, unless you just wanted to catch up on Chicago Fire, it could be your go-to right now. You're catching up on all your network stuff from CBS or Hulu, then you can get Peacock for and just burn through like you were watching Netflix. Burn through all the Chicago Fire and Chicago Meds and all your favorite Peacock shows for make it your summer adventure, you know? And you don't have to keep Netflix all the time. Just cancel occasionally, pause occasionally. A lot of these apps let you pause a service and come back to it. And with ads on all these services, you usually get everything except for maybe one or two tweaks you don't get, like news and sports. They're expensive to make. My wife can't watch her General Hospital on Hulu. It's just an ABC show, and she's like, ah. And they want you to sell you on Hulu with live TV, which is like $70, $80. And we're not doing that. So she found it on the ABC.com website, a week behind, but she found it. So she can watch it on her tablet. So there are workarounds, you know, like Netflix has, occasionally will have a movie or a show that's not available quite yet on the ad version, but if you were to get that ad-free version for double the price, you could get everything. Or you could just wait, and it'll be on the ad version eventually, right? You know, so don't worry about it. So look for more sports and news type things coming to more of it. You might get a touch of it here and there, but more of it on the ad-free versions. But they make so much money with the ad versions, they brag about it, and you're like, put it on the ad version. You know, eventually they're going to do that. what's old is new again. It'll become like watching cable, but at least you'll have a pause button, and you can continue, and you can watch the next day, and you can catch up where you were, and stuff like that. I like writing it down because occasionally if something glitches and it doesn't keep up with where you were, you're like, what happened? Where were we in this show? We'll watch a little bit. Yeah, we've seen that one. And with the ads, it goes into ads right away, and it's annoying. So I like to write it down. So like and subscribe. Have a great day. And we'll see you again. Bye.